In The Watch, suburban dads who form a neighborhood watch group as a way to get out of their day-to-day family routines find themselves defending the Earth from an alien invasion.
There is an alien invasion happening. They're among us.
That's why I founded the Neighborhood Watch.
We're not gonna let Glenview be ground zero for some alien invasion.
We can't trust anyone.
Look at his face. Look at my face. Look at his face and listen to me.
Look at him and listen to me.
Look at me.
Look at me.
Look at him and understand me. Look at both of us but understand no one. Listen to my words and hear his face.
Based on the trailers for The Watch, I expected it to be a dumb movie that had some funny parts, and so I thought it would just be But it turns out that it's actually way funnier than I was expecting, and there is a specific reason why, which I will get into in a moment, but overall, it is obviously a silly movie. It's a good mix, though, I think, of comedy and sci-fi, because the aliens are surprisingly well done, and I will get into that in more detail in a moment as well, but overall, I was really surprised because I was laughing non-stop for about a third of it, or the first half, and then it trails off a little bit, but for a while, it was just non-stop for me. So first off, let's talk about the plot. Now, the plot of the movie, like I said, is the neighborhood watch guys versus aliens. And it's very simple. It does have a lot of dumb stuff. There are some, reveals of who's an alien and stuff like that. And, some of it's okay, some of it's dumb. But once again, I was kind of expecting that, so maybe that's why I'm kind of okay with it. And I think it actually handled itself pretty well. Nothing really in the script is ever very serious to the point where the movie takes itself very seriously. All of it is silly from the start, so it knows what type of movie it is, and that really works. That can really go far, and that has saved a lot of dumb movies that I've seen, to be honest, when the movie knows that it's dumb. Now, humor-wise, I'm pretty sure, or it seemed like, a lot of the stuff that was really funny in the movie was improv, and it really seemed like they let the actors just go and riff, and that brings me into the directing, which I thought was great, because all I want from actors like this is to just watch them come up with stuff on their own, because I think these guys can be very funny when they just kind of keep talking and talking and it just gets funnier and funnier. I personally love that, and I think that these guys are great for that, and it really seems like that's what they did. They kind of just let these guys go and improvise a lot of it, and I could be wrong. Maybe all of it is written and they said all of their lines to the T. I don't know, but it just felt that way, and I'm pretty sure it was that way, because some of the conversations are hysterical. They just keep going and going, and when you've got all these guys talking over each other and you just pick out like little pieces, it's really hilarious, or I at least find that to be hilarious. The aliens I thought were actually pretty cool. They looked really good. They were actually not scary. I mean, I wasn't scared, but they were just really well done, in my opinion, for the most part. And so I was really surprised by that when the first legitimate alien comes on screen and you actually see it out in the bushes, I think it was. I was actually surprised, because I would have expected just a really crappy, cheap alien just for the purposes of that they needed an alien, and they just whipped it up real quick. But it was actually good. And finally, acting-wise, you've got all these guys that, like I said, I think are very funny guys on their own, so you put them together, and they're talking over each other, and it's just really funny. Now, I have not been the biggest fan of Ben Stiller's recent movies, but I actually think that this one was a good one for him. And he plays the same character that he usually does. They all pretty much just play themselves in this movie, for the most part. I think Jonah Hill was a little bit different, so, he had the same type of humor, but the character was different. But overall, I think these guys are funny, and to put them together, I think really worked. And especially when they were just able to riff and just keep going and going and going, I was definitely laughing a lot for those types of scenes. Couple of other small little acting-related things I'd like to mention. It's always nice to see a Lonely Island cameo, although I guess I should have expected that considering Akiva directed the movie. And I was also very pleasantly surprised to see that Billy Crudup, or Crudup, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I apologize, was in this movie, because I love him and I thought he was very funny. Where his story went was dumb, but I thought that he was really, really funny. Also, Will Forte, I usually think that he is a bit too over the top, but he really worked in this movie. He was very funny, and I can't stop picturing the part where he takes the sunglasses off and his eyes are like wide open. Very funny. He worked really well in this. And the tiniest little bit of cameo that I appreciated was Dax Flame, who, curiously, is listed as Flax Dame in the credits, so okay. And overall, like I said, this was a silly movie, but I actually thought it was way funnier than I was expecting. I expected some funny parts, but I would say a lot of it was very, very funny, and that, I think, is really due in part to these actors that are funny on their own coming together and being allowed to riff. So I have to say that overall it was well done for the type of movie that it is. Once again, a dumb movie, That was funny. But I think they did a good job with it, and I really enjoyed myself. I had a good time. So let me know in the comments what you thought of The Watch. Let me know what you thought of the acting. Do you like these guys? Do you hate these guys? I know plenty of people that don't like any of these guys, but I personally am fine with them. To some degree, I actually really like them. Let me know what you thought of the aliens. Did you actually think they were good, or did you think they were crappy? I actually thought that they were pretty good. Let me know anything that you want about The Watch, and that's pretty much it.